shot. Come on. Yeah!
Needs it.
There it is, second U.S. Open.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're a piece of history, young man.
You better believe it, he did it! For the title! Got it!
180 it is.
Well, good morning and welcome to Royal Pin Woodland for the 2023 United States Open pregame show here on BowlTV and on the Sport of Bowling Facebook page. We appreciate you tuning in today. I'm Craig Gale along with Chase Kaufman. We also have Mike Flanagan down in the settee area with the players here to give us a little insight on what we're about to see here at 4 o'clock on FS1. Mike, how's it going down there with the players?
Yeah, Craig, things are going pretty good down here. I just popped into position as I'm kind of in the way. Give you a little tour of what's going on behind me here, Craig. I've got the practice pair. The players can only practice on this pair right here. The TV show lanes are right over there. And right now we got Marshall Kent, Frank Snodgrass, and Justin Knowles are warming up right now. Interesting thing here, we've got 3 Hammer staffers down there, so the Brunswick reps are really, really busy. I'm going to do my best during this pregame show to grab some of the players and try to talk to them for a few minutes. I'll keep you posted on that.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it. A lot going on the other side of that curtain over there as they're getting ready for the live show here on FS1 at 4 p.m. Chase, it's been a long week. Welcome. Thanks for joining the crew here this week on
Absolutely.
BowlTV.
Thank you.
How did we get here? A lot of bowling.
A lot of bowling. 48 games, 24 games of qualifying, 24 games of match play, and each one seemed to blend in with the other, but somehow, some way, we're here.
Several interesting and fascinating stories, but a quick rundown of how some of the players made it this far in the event. We've got 2 guys, Justin Knowles and Tomas Kaiko, who actually came out of the PTQ, the pre-tournament qualifier, just to get into the main draw of this event. But a little rundown now. Who we're going to see today, we're going to see Justin Knowles, Frank Snodgrass, Marshall Kent, Thomas Larson, and Kyle Troop. Our tournament leader, E.J. Tackett. Number 2, Thomas Kaiko. Number 3, Anthony Simonson. And number 4, Richie Teese. Throughout this week, almost every single round, E.J. Tackett has led. He was 11th after the first round, second after round 2, and he has not relinquished that lead since that second round. He's been the number 1 seed the entire time. Back-to-back years for EJ as well. He was the number 1 seed last year, lost in the finals to Anthony Simonson.
Well, he had a 50-50 shot last year. Has a 50-50 shot this year.
He does.
Didn't get it last year, so I mean, you go by the odds. He's due, and it's in his home state, and obviously nobody would be surprised to see him win this tournament. Nobody was really surprised to see him as the 1 seed this weekend, but there were a few more surprises, and we're going to be seeing a lot of those surprises here in today's 5 through 9 seed show.
Yeah, some newcomers, and we'll talk about a few of them as we get along with this show here this afternoon. But a big shout out and thanks to everybody here at Royal Pin Woodland. Always great hosts, Jim Doty and staff. This is the 44th professional event that they've hosted here. That's just incredible.
Absolutely
incredible. And we're just minutes away from yet another live show.
And it looks like Mike's got someone, so let's head over out to Mike and see what he's got going for us.
Guys, I'm here with Jason Wojnar. He actually competed out here on the tour, and he's a tour rep for Brunswick this year, making the move over to Brunswick. He is Marshall Kent's tour rep the last 2 years as he was with Big Bowling. What is Marshall's plan going to be on the show today?
Well, today we're going to keep it in front of us. We're going to try to tumble it right around 10, maybe in between first, second arrow. We have 3 really good looks with Columbia Speed and a Track Stealth. And if the fronts start to go, we're going to go to a GB2. Basically, just keep it in front of us and tumble it.
Yeah, Marshall's had a really nice week getting adjusted to the equipment and everything now. It looks like he was able to go through some progressions. He had some high points and some low points. What do you think is going to be the key for Marshall to get through this show and make it to tomorrow's show?
I think stay patient. I think he gets a little amped up and he tries to overthrow it a little bit. If he can stay patient, I think we're going to be okay.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, that's Jason Wojnar down here from the lanes.
Interesting terminology that Jason used there. I'm not sure what we saw Marshall doing is tumbling the last couple of days. I mean, he's been getting on and amping up the speed and really going after it. We've seen him grab that Columbia Speed a few times, and it worked well for him several games, and a few other games it didn't. So I think a key we're going to see to this event here today and tomorrow is not just ball selection, but really just good execution is what it's going to take to win this event. We look at some of our players. We mentioned the top 9 so far. Again, a top 9 step ladder, a little bit different than years past. But that gives us a chance to meet and see a lot of new players that we're not used to seeing here in PBA events. Of course, this is run by the United States Bowling Congress. It is a PBA title. It is a major. It's a 2023 U.S. Open.
And some of those new faces, one of them, Justin Knowles out of Okemos, Michigan. And Mike is with Justin right now. Mike, what's up?
Yeah, I am here with Justin Knowles. Justin, super proud of you, man. How awesome was that down the stretch? How great you bowled. Obviously, to get into the cut throw in the last 6, go around Maldonado, and then 7-1 in match play there to end the round. How's it feel making this show?
Man, the culmination of your life's hard work. Put in a lot of work this summer to get better, and man, it just feels validated all moments like this. So pretty great.
What are we going to see on the show from you? Are we going to see urethane for sure?
We're going to see some Thane banging, Mike. We're going to bang some Thane, no doubt.
Do you have any nerves or anything going into the show here today? You've bowled for some major titles on live streams throughout the years. Has that got you ready, or is this like something you've never done before?
Yeah, it has. I just it's always going to be the nerves on your first PBA show, but I'm excited, man. I've spent my whole life wondering what it would feel like, and now that it's here, I'm just ready, man. Ready to experience it.
Well, we're ready to watch you bowl. I'll let you get back to practicing. Justin Knowles, everybody.
Yeah, he looks a lot more relaxed than what we saw him the last couple of days. I like to see that. He looks like he's figured it out, and he's just going to go out there and have a good time. You know, Justin, as you know, Chase as well, pretty experienced player. Been a member since 2013, really started going after it in 2019. He's got a couple regional titles. He's a Bradley Open champ, which was one of the toughest tournaments to win in the Midwest. Always a tough condition, tough field, similar to conditions we see here at the U.S. Open. So he's no stranger to tough conditions, but it's a little bit different here for Justin in this situation. It's live Fox television. This isn't behind our cameras or a local event or a Sunday sweeper. Yep. This is for $100,000 and a major title.
Yeah, and I mean, if there was any question of could he do it or not, I mean, that answer is yes. We saw what he did in qualifying through the back 6 to get to match play. Started in 23rd in match play, jumped all the way up to now 9th place. Even after last night, he wasn't in the top 9. So he shows that he can do this. But you're right. Once you get out to those lights, once you get on that main stage, it's a whole different ballgame. Absolutely.
Well, his round 1 and round 2 is the exact opposite of the player he's going to have to bowl here in the opening match, Frank Snodgrass. Knowles went minus 200 from block 1 to block 2 in match play. Snodgrass went the other direction. Bowled 8 games, went to lunch, came back, and went 350 over his earlier block, which was just incredible.
Yeah, must have had some Wheaties for lunch or something, because he went by far had the best block, that second block last night. And after it seems like, oh, Frank, qualified high, but, just needs some more experience after having block 1 not be as great as he wanted it to. He sure proved everybody wrong and jumped right back up there after block 2 last night.
Sure did. We got Mike Flanagan now with another guest down in the city. What do you got, Mike?
Yeah, guys, I'm here with Marshall Kent. 1 for 1 making shows this year, Marshall.
Yeah, it's a pretty good feeling.
What is going to be? We talked to your tour rep. I want to make sure things match up here. What are you going to be using today on the show?
Well, it's probably going to be either a Columbia 300 Speed, a Track Stealth, or an Ebonite Game Breaker 2. It's one of the three, depending on what we see on the shots on the TV set. And we have a game plan, and we're just going to kind of stick with it and see what happens.
So you made the switch over to Brunswick. You're with the Hammer brand, of course. How's it been this week getting support from those guys?
Oh, it's been absolutely awesome. Obviously, Woj has been here all week. Dino and Wolf has been behind me the whole time, too, ask if I need anything. And it's nice to have multiple sets of eyes, and when we go to the truck, it's, have different opinions on a bunch of different equipment for the shapes that I need to see to be successful.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Marshall. If you can make it to the top 5, I'm going to predict you're going to win the whole thing. How about that?
That'd be pretty cool. I would not be upset about that.
All right, man, I'll let you get back to practicing. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
There you go. Bold prediction from me down here, guys.
Well, he's going to have to win a couple of matches today if he's going to make it to tomorrow. So
yes, he is.
The one thing that Marshall told me earlier is he's just taking it one day at a time. Right now, he's going to have to take it one match at a time. Marshall, another guy, rough year last year, ranked 41st on tour. Of course, he qualifies for the U.S. Open because he was in the top 75. But that's not where we expect to see Marshall Holman's name. Excuse me. Yeah, and Marshall Holman's name either. Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall Holman finishes 41st last year. They've been pretty impressive. But he did pick up a doubles title with E.J. Tackett last year. So, there's that. And how cool would it be if they bowled each other for the U.S. Open title?
Yeah, a lot of good matches right now. I mean, we got the two Michigan guys bowling here in the first match, and if those two make it to the final match, we definitely see some fireworks. Obviously, those two respect each other, love each other. But it'd be a really good match, and they both would definitely want to take that win.
Yeah, Marshall Kent's biggest finish in the U.S. Open. He has a runner-up to Francois Lavoie back in 2016, and he's looking to improve on that here this season. And way to kick off the year. And we've got Mike down there again in the settee.
Guys, I'm back. I got the other competitor here. They've given me so much of their time here. Frank Snodgrass, congratulations on making this show. What are your thoughts going into your first TV show?
There's a lot of emotion going through my head, but just trying to dial it all in and throw some 10 really good shots and go from there.
I know Andrew Anderson's been in your corner. He's bowled a lot on television. What have you been able to gather from Andrew about this experience here tonight?
You got to bowl a game. That's it. I've bowled so many games in my life that you can't make it bigger than it is.
You've won a lot of things at the amateur level. What does it feel overall to say, hey, I went to the U.S. Open and I'm going to be bowling on television?
It feels great. I mean, you said it right there. You said it all. I don't need to say anything. It speaks for itself.
What bowling balls? We got a lot of bowling ball nerds out there. What bowling balls will you be using on the show tonight potentially?
Probably the world famous Purple Hammer. Maybe an NV Tour. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully urethane. If I'm throwing urethane, it's probably going to go well for me.
Little advice from me. It's going to go really fast. Enjoy the moment.
All right, I will. Thank you.
Thanks. That's Frank Snodgrass, everybody.
Chase, I don't know if you saw what I did. Actually, exact opposite of Justin Knowles. Justin was relaxed. Frank is not. He looks a little wound right now, and rightly so.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if he is, it worked for him the last few days. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll work for him here today. He's obviously a really good bowler. We noticed that by qualifying so high and then obviously shooting that 1850, 1860 in the second round of match play. So I'm not going to be shocked to see what he can do here if he does anything really well. These two bowlers, both in their first game since they're going to be on pretty much a fresh pair, obviously practice aside. Each of those 6 games, all above 200 to start each one on pattern 4. So
yeah, and Frank did have some adversity today. He kind of stumbled a little bit in that block, but hung in there and was able to lock down, that number 8 seed to make his first ever television show. So the first 2 guys off, newbies, new to the tour, new to TV, bowling for a major. Marshall Kent, he's been here before. Thomas Larson has a master champion, and Kyle Troop also on the show. He's no stranger to winning titles. So those new guys got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so one of them's going to win, and then whoever wins is going to be the underdog in the next match, and pretty much for every single match they keep on winning because, like you said, those guys in front of them, aside from Tomas Keiko, they're going to be the underdog because they're fresh 100%. On TV.
Yeah, we'll go back to a recap of our top 5 today, and we'll run back down to Mr. Flanagan here with another guest.
I am here with your buddy, Craig. Craig, Elliott loves you, Thomas Larson. He thinks he was your pick to win the whole thing. So, Thomas, you got this show coming up here. You've bowled good across all the patterns this week. What's it going to take for you to get a couple of W's here and advance to tomorrow's show?
Well, I have to basically be calm enough to throw good shots and then hope my opponents don't bowl 250 or 260 against me. So it's all going to be mental like it has all week, and hopefully I throw enough good shots to get a decent score.
Well, you're no stranger to bowling for a major as you won the Masters, and that was, I don't know if it was a piece of cake, but you got the job done. Today, the U.S. Open, man, what does this one mean to you if you were to advance to tomorrow and the stars would align?
Getting any two majors is special, but like winning the U.S. Open is it's always been the hardest tournament to win. I think the hardest major to win, so that would really be like a stamp of approval on a career, I think.
And the last question for you: what bowling balls will you be using on the telecast tonight?
Well, that's a good question. I'm gonna probably start with either a gem or a proton, but from there it depends on how they break down and what I see when I get my 8 practice shots.
All right, brother. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Mike.
Thomas Larson, everybody.
Yeah, Thomas started to allude to it. One of the things that make this event so special, and I've talked to some other players, it's the long list of amazing players that have won this event is one thing, but this is, to a man, the most difficult event to win on the PBA. Tough leg conditions, a lot of games, and you've always got the best in the world that you're going up against. I mean, you start looking at the list of people that have won this event: Marshall Holman, Nelson Burton Jr., Johnny Petraglia, Don Johnson, Del Ballard, Pete Weber 5 times, Robert Lawrence, Husted back-to-back. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Barnes, Jones, Duke. There's nobody on this list that we have not heard of. So one of these players is going to add their name to that very prestigious list of players.
Yeah, tough, challenging conditions. Like you said, they're going to be bowling on pattern 4 again. And let's go out and meet the guy who made all these patterns specifically for this tournament.
Guys, I'm here with Nick Hoagland. Nick, you couldn't be any happier than what ended up happening with these patterns here, with the overall numbers, lefties, two-handers, all that kind of stuff, pace of play. Tell everybody at home what your thoughts are about how the patterns played out.
Yeah, it's been a great week. So our goals were 3 angles to win, which we've seen guys play out in the track. Had perfect left-right balance, 1-hand, 2-hand, high rev, low rev. I mean, really nailed it. So we're really happy with the results, and we anticipate a great show today. It's going to be interesting to see how long the guys stay right, because I think we saw them play out for one of the blocks in this pattern, and then they creeped in a little early on the other 2 blocks, and they got kind of ugly. So we'll see how they choose to attack them.
And why did you come over to watch the show? You just want to be part of the event? I know you got your daughter here as well.
It's Woodland Bowl. It's history of bowling. It's the U.S. Open, so I'm proud to be associated with the event. Privileged to be here. Like, I know that's how you feel. My daughter's helping to cheer up the crowd, so it's fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nick. Great job this week.
Thank you.
Nick Hoagland, your lane pattern guru. He's in charge of all lane patterns for the United States Bowling Congress.
You know, we could start hearing that crowd. They're getting pumped over there. I can barely hear myself in his headset, Chase. I'm not sure about you. It's going to be pretty
getting
exciting.
Crazy.
It's getting
really
crazy, and I think it's about that time we start making our predictions. So, Mike, you're out on the lanes. We got 9 guys, 5 here today. I want a winner out of this stepladder group, and I want a winner for the whole thing.
Okay, very easy. Winner out of this group, Marshall Kent. Marshall Kent gets it done here, and he loses in the final to E.J. Tackett, his doubles partner winner from last year. E.J. Tackett versus Marshall Kent for the title. E.J. gets it done here in his hometown.
All right.
I'm going to go Thomas Larson. I mean, he's a guy, obviously started out block 1 really, really well. Kind of flown under the radar here for the last few blocks. He's obviously been up there, but we haven't mentioned him as much. He hasn't been one of the front runners. He hasn't been one of the surprises, but I really liked his line out there on the pattern. So I'm going to go with Thomas Larson. And in the finals, I think I got to go E.J. Tackett. E.J. Tackett, obviously from his hometown here in Indiana, didn't get it done last year as the 1 seed. I think he gets it done as the 1 seed this year.
Well, guys, you know, when I take my picks in our fun drafts we have, I don't like to go chalk, and I'm going to go out the board again. I'm going to go with a surprise here. The only lefty in Justin Knowles to make it to tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm also going to go with Keiko to win this event. You can't argue against what Walter Ray Williams predicted a couple of days ago. And we haven't seen Keiko blink hardly at all.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just steady all day long. And I think he's got what it takes.
Yeah, one of the most consistent bowlers throughout match play, too. We looked at his blocks all within 1750 to 1775. Just a really, really solid bowler. And again, one of those under-the-radar guys that we didn't talk about much to actually win the tournament, but we talked about him because he's such a front runner in any face.
I have one spare I want everybody at home to be looking out for today. How many 710s will we have on the show? Because there were over 330 left, which is unprecedented for a major.
And we saw it made 7 times this week as well. So that's the pins bounce here at Royal Pin Woodland. And could a 7-10 conversion be the winning shot? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It absolutely would be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it. We saw so many pins bounce off, not only with 710s, Greek churches, big fours, you name it. We saw it out here this weekend.
So we're just a few minutes left before we get to the live show. Mike, thanks for all the guests you've had down there in the settee. It's getting pretty crazy down there. Make your final prediction. So you're sticking with what you got?
Yeah, that's what I got. But I also just want to say that as you're watching on FS1, there's a lot of moving parts down here. We got a very, very, very raucous crowd. It should come across great on television. And look for Jim Doty in the front row. That man is TV famous here at Royal Pin Woodland. He's done so much for professional bowling. I want everybody at home to stand up and give him a standing ovation when they show him on television.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it. And we'll give Jim Doty a little round of applause right now. Thank you, Jim
Absolutely.
Doty.
Thank you, Jim.
And the staff here at Royal Pin for all you've done. So, Chase, we're close.
We are close.
Right? Live show is 8 minutes away on FS1. For all you fans out there, get your snacks and beverages ready. If you're not at home, make sure you set your DVRs to watch it. You're going to see some pretty cool stuff in the opening match. The new guys who know each other really well, Snodgrass and Knowles. Should be a great show. A lot of good matches, a lot of compelling stories. EJ Tackett back-to-back years. He's going to bowl for the title. Simonson looking for back-to-back titles. We say it all the time on BowlTV, anything can happen.
That's right. Anything can happen.
Chase, another great week. We appreciate all you've done for us here on BowlTV.
Absolutely.
You had Mike Flanagan down there doing a great job talking to all the different players. And I think we're about ready to get out of here and go watch some live bowling.
Yeah, how about it?
Thanks to all you fans. We appreciate you. Our BowlTV community has been fantastic. Everybody out there on Facebook, if you'd like to get on and become a BowlTV subscriber, BowlTV.com. It'll show you everything you need to do that. Come out here and join us. We have a good time in the booth. And we're going to get out of here ready for a show. So as we go, just a big shout out and thanks to the United States Bowling Congress and the United States Bowling Congress Board of Directors for allowing us to be here, bringing you this great coverage from all these great athletes, as well as the BPAA and the BPAA Board of Directors, all that they do to allow us to be here as well. And you, the fans out there, if you're not watching, there's nothing for us to do. So with that, thank you. Chase Kaufman, Craig Elliott, Mike Flanagan out there, Brian Kane, Jason Thomas, and everybody else with our BowlTV crew. Thank you very much. Remember, on BowlTV, bowling lives here.